Hello again, this is Roland from Cisco Switzerland. I would like to give you another brief review of my past week. So first I would like to start with some Webex video recording. So I had the pleasure to record an event, and for this I did not use the Webex cloud recording because it might take some time to get this recording, and if you have the requirement for the recording to become available really quickly, or if you would like to play with the layouts during the recording, then you can also use the second HDMI of a RoomKit, for example, of a RoomKit Plus. To do so, you can configure the second HDMI output as a primary screen as well, so you can then see whatever you have on your first screen on your second screen as well, with the advantage of not seeing the on-screen displays, so not like seeing that the microphone is on mute or your speaker is on a very low volume or other messages coming in. And also you can define the line out as a recording, so it actually doesn't matter how much you hear or how the volume is you set for on the RoomKit Plus. It will always send the same volume out to the recording device, which is in my case a gaming recording device, which allows to just plainly record whatever is coming out on the HDMI port. Also, in terms of recording, I wanted to point you to a very good broadcasting guide from a colleague of mine. He shows you in a blog post very nicely the tools he's using and how the best results can be achieved. I would like to show you a brief demo on how our Jabber or Webex Teams calling integrates into Microsoft Teams. For this I have the Microsoft Teams application open. I have a chat here. I'm chatting with Frank in this case. I select the More button here in the chat. I choose Webex Call, and it opens a window with the calling option. I can even choose here the phone number or an email address. I say call, it asks me, would you like to really open up another application? I say yes, and then it initiates the call. So end call. You see I'm using Webex Teams application, but not with the chat options, only with the Webex meetings, calendar and calling parts of the application. The second option is I can go directly to the Webex call part, and in there I have my soft phone. I can enter my mobile number and hit call. It will then ask me again, would you like to indeed initiate a call with another application? I say okay, it will initiate the call, and after some time you will see on my mobile phone that it will ring, and I can pick up the call if I'm in the mood to, or not, just simply hang up. So that was a quick demo of Cisco's Webex Teams application into Microsoft Teams. So the next thing I wanted to mention was encryption keys on all the Cisco video endpoints. Encryption keys don't come with a fee. They are free of charge. So you go to global licensing. I'll add the link in the description below. You open a case and then you get the license key as required. You don't need the Cisco account team to support you here. You will get the key free of charge. Another thing I learned today is that CallManager 14 does not depreciate any additional devices. So certain phone types or older phones have been depreciated from CallManager 11.x and 12.x. With 14.x there was the plan to have additional phones depreciated, but this plan has changed, so no additional phone types will be depreciated there. Then quickly to the DeskPro. So the HDMI Out is at the moment not working or properly supported. So this is something which will become available sometime next year. As we are talking about the DeskPro, I wanted to also mention the noise removal feature we have introduced again. So it can be turned on and off. If the noise removal feature is turned on and the music mode as well, then the noise removal feature will be turned off during the time music mode is turned on. Also, the noise removal feature will be applied even for the microphone being forwarded to the laptop via USB-C, for example. So it will also help you to have a more quiet environment there. Speaking of the noise removal feature, it is also added to the Webex Meetings desktop applications in the latest version, or in the October release. There will be 4.10, so you can also benefit on the desktop now from this new functionality. Back to Microsoft Teams. With the CVI integration, you will get a meeting ID which you can add to dial into the Microsoft Teams meeting directly. This meeting ID may not be the same meeting ID as for the audio integration. So Microsoft Teams generates two different meeting IDs depending on the integration which is used. So it may be audio only, so when you dial in via phone, or it can be different for the video integration. Talking about CVI, I think it's important to mention that our new Webex Room Phone is also using the CVI integration to dial into Microsoft Teams meetings, for example. My colleague Dustin did a very nice video in this regards, so please feel free and have a look. I linked it up here and in the description below as well. Then if you're using the Cisco Meeting Server, you have the option with hybrid calendar integration to use the Add Meet functionality. This is possible with a hybrid calendar feature only these days, so be aware of that. On-prem only solutions don't have like a Cisco only option if you're using Add Meet, for example. This is something which we're looking at for the future. I had the challenge of answering a question regarding the network ports in the back of the Codec Pro. So the Codec Pro has 5 network ports. One of the network ports is reserved for the uplink. Then we have 2 network ports which are labeled for camera control. One is labeled with PoE, and the 4th one is labeled, or the 4th out network port out is labeled as touch 10 port. These 4 ports, they all are like link local network ports, so these packets, IP packets, will not be forwarded anywhere else. They'll end in the Codec Pro. They all have exactly the same network, so they can be mixed and matched as you would like to. The main difference is 2 of those ports only have power over Ethernet, so allow you to power the touch 10 without additional options. I looked into this because we had the setup with like 3 cameras in a room and only 1 touch 10, and the documentation says that with more than 2 cameras you need an external switch to control the camera, but this is not correct. So you can use the 3 out of the 4 ports for camera control and the 4th one for the touch 10. The QuadCam does unfortunately not have a screen mount kit available. So the QuadCam is meant to be put on the wall or like above 2 screens, but there is no dedicated screen mount kit available, so you can like just add it directly on the screen. So that was it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it was helpful, and I look forward to see you soon in my next video.